Yo, hello, welcome back to Tim's Trades. It's been a while, but a lot of stuff going on. This video is going to be our final video, which is technical analysis for noobs. So what I'll do is a quick recap, then we're going to cover a couple of more indicators, then I'm going to talk you through my go-to strategy, which I'm currently using to identify good setups for for trades, basically, for swing trades, spot swing trades, not leverage stuff here. Alrighty, so quick recap, what we've covered so far was the Fibonacci extension, the Fibonacci retracement, and then we looked at divergences. So I've got type AI on here, and the reason I've put this up, because if I'm trawling through my charts and I'm looking for charts which are, I've got bullish upside potential, I want to see this, I want to see price come up, I want to see it come back down, all right? And then this, at first glance, it's just a blank chart. We want to start thinking, okay, is this one going to go soon? And let's see, how do we identify that? So first of all, let's run a retracement, and we'll take it from this accumulation down here, and we're going to run it up to the top of this wick high, and we're going to see where prices come down. And in this case, price wicked all the way down to the 0.5, which is ideal, really. This could come a wee bit lower, and the reason I say that is because this is on the 12-hour, we've got this little piece of kind of sideways accumulation here. So this is also an area of interest, which is sitting on the 618. So yes, this has come down here and it's going sideways. It's been a very bullish chart. However, that area there would also be an area of interest to me, so it may come down a wee bit further. What I would do is probably have a buy target somewhere in here and probably start buying and then continue to buy. If it starts closing dailies and stuff below there, okay, things are turning bearish, but I don't anticipate that. It's not the right, the market remains bullish as far as we can tell going forward. So anyway, this is the first thing I'm looking for: price up, price down, going sideways. We've identified the 0.5. So the next thing you could then do is say, okay, if this is kind of our area of interest, we could run an extension to give us an idea of targets to the upside. It might be a wee bit premature to do that because we don't know if things have turned bullish, but that would be certainly, once you're in a trade, right, where's it going to go? All right, let's remove that temporarily. So the next thing is, are there any divergences? Now, we talked about that in the last video we did, was identifying divergences. So let's drop on caretakers. You don't have this potentially, and I did show you in the previous video how to identify divergences, but for easiness, let's just drop this on here and see if it's picking up anything yet. And no, not really. So that's fine. I mean, it's still probably correcting. This is just an example. What I said in the previous video is I'll look for these on the daily. That's what I'm really looking for. If it starts showing me good divergences on the 12-hour, that's good. Chances are eventually it'll drop into the daily, but the daily is my kind of go-to signal for upside. All right, so we've got no divergences at the moment. That's fine. Price is coming down. Now, the next two indicators I'm going to drop on are the last part of this strategy. So we've looking at the price chart, we can see this. We know it's come down to 0.5. Currently not got any divergences, but let's check volatility and stochastic. Now, a free indicator, the BBWP, let's drop that on. This is a volatility indicator. It doesn't give you any indication of price direction, only the potential or explosiveness of upcoming moves. And as you can see here, at this point here, if you look at price action here, it was corrective. This means we'd had a move or an explosive move and price was settling down before the next pump up. In this case, price went up, but it could just be like a big dump coming up. It doesn't tell you direction, it just gives you an indication that volatility is coming down. It got down to the midline, didn't actually get that low in this case. I guarantee if we go lower down the time frames, you'll see that it did get lower before the last pump. So here's an 8-hour, just before the beginning of this big move up, you get this explosion in volatility to the upside. Now, if I drop on here the last indicator, which is a stochastic, stochastics are a lagging, kind of basically very simplified, a lagging kind of price indicator. So it's giving you that direction in price. So what we need to do is couple these together. Now, before I go any further, somebody's going to be out there and say, well, that's Crown's setup. Eric Crown, yes, it's absolutely Crown's setup. I was showing Eric Crown's about his courses, I use his indicators and I use his strategies, and this is one of Eric Crown's. So big shout out to Eric Crown, this is his strategy. I've applied it to the alts and I've added on my own kind of nuances, which are working off a daily time frame, etc. But these are Crown's strategies, all right, in there. Okie dokie. So you've got the stochastic here. And if you look at the point at which volatility expanded, stochastic was very, very low here and the price is going up. So that gave us the bias that price was going to go to the upside and not dump to the downside. So this is all, good indications. So we're currently on here on an 8 hour and we're beginning, this is what I would say is potentially a good setup. It's on too low a time frame for me to say, right, it's ready to go, but it's given us an idea now that, okay, things are getting set up. So the stochastic's come all the way down to the very, very bottom here and it's kind of slowly curling up. Volatility's coming down and it's beginning to ease up, but nothing's telling me this is like a screaming buy yet, particularly because we're on an 8 hour and my go-to is the daily. So let's roll on the daily. You can see, yes, prices are still, for me, this is correctives. We've got decrease in volatility. It's not going to be a dump that's coming, even though stochastic is pointing down, because price is still corrective. Now, had this been all the way down here and was beginning to curl up, and this stochastic was just here, that would be telling me, okay, a screaming big dump's coming. So you can't short type AI probably because it's not on any kind of major exchanges yet, but that would be a sign for a sell-off basically, and we don't have that. So this is just telling me it's just not ready for a buy yet, but it's getting there. It's definitely getting there. This is why I'm waiting. I think the 618 is probably a good buy. If it gets down there, it's a screaming buy to me. And at the same time, potentially these indicators are going to have swung around. So putting all these things together, you can get an idea that things are going to go. Now, if you go on my Twitter or X feed, you'll see that I've been shilling Cadence Protocol quite hard, and I started shilling that back here off. Oh, let me change these. These are fancy indicators I bought off Mr. Eric Crown. We don't need these for this strategy. They're not free. These are paid up indicators, so we want anyone to be able to do this. Although, let's just do this together with a non-fancy RSI, so anyone can do the strategy. Let's dump on a basic free RSI there, relative strength index. Okie dokie. So with a basic RSI on, let's see if we can identify together bullish divergences. And if you go back to my previous video, what we're looking for is with regular bullish divergences, RSI going up but price coming down. So immediately you can see it here. Price drops, oops, give me a line, oh no, there it is, ever so slightly down between those 2 points and ever so slightly up between those 2 points. So that is regular bullish divergence. I'd rather have it green because that's what I like to use. So we can see that there. And okay, so also I had, this one was it's a funny one. It's a new token, but I was running my fibs from this point here. Could you run it from there? It's hard to say, but let's see what happens if we do run it from there, and it would have to go all the way up to that high wick there. And yeah, I mean, it's not a great one for finding an entry. It's too new a chart in my opinion. What I based this off purely was structural support, which was price was not breaking below here. So I kind of cheated a wee bit in this sense because I'm not using I'm just not cheating, it's just my experience in terms of like, okay, price is bottoming here, but if you do run a fib retracement on it, yeah, no, it's catching the 886 actually, which is the last line in the sand. I'll be honest with you, I don't normally wait till the 886 to be buying, and in fact if things start closing below a 618 I wouldn't buy it. But this is a brand new token, it's got funky wicks up and down at the beginning, so not ideal for running fibs on. What was more important to me was this regular bullish divergence on a 12-hour time frame on a relatively new project. So it's okay, I'm thinking things are maybe bottoming and now we're looking to get some price action to the upside. So we got that there. And then I dropped on my volatility indicator, which was the old BBWP here. And let's again go the non-paid up stochastic, because I've got Crown's fancy one. Stochastic, let's drop that on. Okay, so we can run these together, and then let's batter on all the way up to the daily time frame. So now, at the time I was shilling this, you can see here, I was shilling it on my X feed after this bullish divergence on the daily, which was, we're on the daily now, so you can see the same bullish divergences occurring between here and here and here and here, and I'm like, okay, this is time to go. But not only that, look, we had volatility right down, it was really beginning to base, and stochastic was down, and it was also beginning to base. And so roll on time, you can eventually see volatility exploding to the upside alongside stochastic going to the upside. So everything was kind of ticking my boxes for a long here, you know, and this is simply the strategy I'm looking for, you know. So imagine there's no price action here. You're getting this early signs. The divergences are fantastic because they're giving you a peek into the future of what's potentially coming. And then if you see low volatility and you see low stochastic, then that is it. That's my go-to. Doesn't matter about the fundamentals of the project. I don't really care. I'm a trader, so I'm interested in what are the odds, what's the probabilities of this moving to the upside. And I think that by marrying all these things together, you get a decent idea, really. You know, and I've done this the season long. If you go back through my Twitter feed, there's loads of these setups and they all work out. Lil AI, Luminant Protocol, they're all giving us the same bullish upside potential and they all pumped. We're in a bull market, so you know, people are aping onto green candles left, right and centre, but there's better ways to do it. There's more nuanced ways to do it, and it's not that difficult, guys. It doesn't take a genius, you know. You just need to have a wee bit of time and just to sniff through kind of projects which are looking like type was, for example, at the moment. This is kind of coming down. This is what I'm looking for. Lithium was one of my big current long-term holds, is also at this period. You know, you can see it's beginning to bottom. This is beautiful on structures, and I shared this on Twitter just today possibly or yesterday. Look at how it's sitting currently right on this previous bit of support. You know, some could come down a wee bit lower definitely, but this is a strong project. I think this is going to do incredibly well long term. I'm a long term holder, sitting right currently on in between, depending on where you run this. I think I'm being a wee bit, I think that accumulation there is a better place to run it. Yeah, you can see price hitting here. Yeah, this is better. This is exactly on the 0.5 from this accumulation right to the top here. Price is retraced to the 0.5. Now let's drop on these other indicators. You can see things are still a bit kind of corrective. I think it's going to take a bit longer. I'd like to see volatility drop. Let's get a wee pen on here, further down here, and if this comes down here, why is my pen not working? Oh, there it is. And you know, really start to base, then this is going to be incredible. At the same time, stochastics basing around this low level. This was really oversold actually. I look at this before on the RSI. You know, there's points on this which haven't been this low for a really long time. Going all the way back here. I mean, it's RSI is lower than way back here in price action. I'm pointing to the screen like you guys can see a bit here. You know, so we're looking at continuation divergences here all the way down, you know, because price, for a hidden bullish divergence, you need an uptrend, remember, and you've got these pivots here. So actually, technically, this is another drive of hidden bullish divergence that my indicator's not picked it up. That's why they're not always the best. You need to be looking yourself, you know. But look at that point and that point and that point and that point. This is continuation divergence, and I'm pretty sure if I roll up the time frames, even better. Like here's a 2-day, two strong drives of continuation divergence. 3-day. Yeah, I mean, if this prints a pivot here, then you've got it on the 3-day and even on the 5-day. I mean, this is looking really good for the long term, I would say, and it's one I've got my eye on. I keep buying anyway. This is probably my biggest bag, if I'm honest, on the field. So yeah, we're just waiting on you know, if this stochastic on the 5-day comes away down here and this comes down, you're looking at a screaming buy. But that means it's going to take a long time. These are slow indicators. It could take 3, 4, 5 weeks easily to continue to accumulate here before a big pump comes, or the market swings and it just goes. But it's kind of baking in, guys. This is one I've got an eye on. So, you know, I hope this is helpful. You know, and listen, if there's any coins you want me to look at that you think are looking like this, stick them in the comments, and I'll just do another wee video, or jump on my Patreon. I'm on there every single day, dropping my these signals all the time, guys. 10.50 a month, GBP, cheapest chips. Tons of kind of time I'm in there helping the team out. Small wee Patreon group, loads of really nice people in there. Alrighty, guys, peace out. Thanks again.